My VP's wife was crying by the lake at our company retreat. I comforted her. We talked for hours. She said her marriage was dead, that she felt invisible. 3 months later, I was in her bed reading her old architecture sketches while her husband was in a meeting downstairs. She was 45, married for 20 years. I was 27, her husband's employee. He found the emails I'd sent her. 63 emails over 3 months, some professional. Most not. I destroyed her marriage and lost my career for a woman who said she just needed someone to see her. Welcome to Ryan's Revelations, where we bring you true stories of affairs, forbidden love, and the destruction that follows when you cross every professional line. What you about to hear is the confession of a 27-year-old financial analyst who had an affair with his VP's wife, a woman who seemed broken, a woman who needed saving, a woman who was still married when she invited him to her hotel room. This is a story about how emotional affairs at corporate retreats become physical betrayals, how being someone's escape doesn't justify adultery, and how sleeping with your boss's wife destroys more than just a marriage. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. We post true betrayal stories 3 times a week. And if this hits too close to home, drop a comment. This story gets messy, professionally and personally. Let's begin. My name is Ethan Cole. I'm 27, living in Boston's Back Bay where the rent eats half my paycheck. I work as a financial analyst for an investment firm downtown. Crunching numbers, building spreadsheets, staying awake through meetings about market trends. It pays well, keeps me busy. But it's not what I dreamed of as a kid. Back then, I wanted to write novels. Instead, I stare at stock charts. I don't let people get too close. Never have. A girlfriend in college said I was like a locked book, pretty to look at, impossible to read. She wasn't wrong. In October, the firm dragged us to a 3-day retreat at a lakeside resort near Concord, Massachusetts. Cedar cabins, fire pits, trust falls, icebreaker games. I wasn't thrilled. I'd rather spend my weekend with a book than fake enthusiasm for corporate bonding. But skipping wasn't an option. My boss made that clear. The person I had to watch out for was David Hartwell, our VP. At 47, he was all charisma and control. Sharp suits, sharper tongue. The kind of guy who could charm a client or cut you down with a single look. I respected him. Mostly because I had to. David's wife, Melissa, was there too. I'd met her at company events, holiday parties, charity galas. She was 45, always elegant but quiet. The kind of woman who seemed to fade into the background of David's spotlight. Blonde hair cut just above her shoulders, soft brown eyes, a smile that was polite but never quite reached her face. She'd stand at his side, nodding as he talked. Her presence like a footnote to his story. I never thought much about her beyond that. She was just his wife. That first day at the retreat was a blur of small talk and forced smiles. I skipped the group dinner, claiming a headache, and settled onto my cabin porch with a book. The night was cold, air sharp with pine and lake water. Other cabins glowed across the lawn, laughter spilling out. That's when I heard it. A soft, choked sob coming from the direction of the lake. I lowered my book, listening. It came again thin and raw, like someone trying to cry without being heard. My first instinct was to ignore it. Not my business. People cry. People fight. But the sound pulled at something in me. I set the book down, grabbed my jacket, and walked toward the water. The lake was dark, reflecting the dim lights of the resort. At the end of a wooden dock sat Melissa, alone, knees pulled up, face buried in her hands. I stopped, breath catching. Melissa. She froze, head snapping up, eyes wide and wet in the moonlight. Ethan, she said, voice shaky. I didn't think anyone was out here. I stood there, hands in my pockets. You okay? She shook her head. No. I'm not okay, not at all. I sat down on the dock an arm's length away. You don't have to tell me anything. But I'm here if you want. For a long moment, just silence. Then she spoke, voice low. I used to be someone, Ethan. I was an architect. Designed buildings, won awards, had my name in magazines. Then I met David and I stepped back. Quit my job, moved for him. Became the wife who shows up at galas and smiles. She paused, fingers twisting her sweater hem. This morning, I looked in the mirror and didn't know who was looking back. I'm 45 and I've spent years being invisible, her words hit me. I'd felt that too, burying my dreams of writing under spreadsheets. You're not invisible, I said, not out here. Not right now. She looked at me, eyes narrowing like she was trying to see through me. You don't have to be kind. I'm not. I'm just telling you what I see. She stared out at the lake. Then slowly she started talking again about how David used to see her. How they'd met at a conference, both young and ambitious. How he'd promised they'd build their careers together. But his career grew and mine shrunk. And now I'm just a VP's wife. I plan dinner parties. I show up looking right, I smile. That's it. We talked for 2 hours. About dreams we'd buried. About who we thought we'd be. When she stood to leave, she turned to me. Thank you, Ethan, for seeing me. Anytime. She smiled a real smile this time, then walked back toward the cabins. I should have left it there. A kind moment. Nothing more. But I didn't. The next day at the retreat, I found myself looking for her. Watching her across the lawn as David held court with colleagues. She caught my eye once, gave a small nod. That night, after dinner, she found me on my cabin porch. Mind if I sit? She asked. Please. We talked again. About architecture, about writing. She told me about buildings she'd designed. I told her about stories I'd started but never finished. You should write again, she said. You have that look in your eyes when you talk about it. What look? Like you're alive. The way she said it, looking at me like that, made my heart race. You should design again, I said. Architecture, not dinner parties. Maybe, she said quietly. Maybe I will. When she left, she squeezed my hand. Brief, but intentional. That's when I knew we were crossing a line. After the retreat, we started emailing, professional at first. She'd ask about market reports. I'd ask about architecture books. But slowly, it shifted. I can't stop thinking about that night by the lake. Thank you for seeing me when I felt invisible. I think about it too. You made me remember who I wanted to be. David doesn't ask about my day anymore. Hasn't in years. But you did. That meant something. You deserve someone who asks. The emails became daily, then multiple times a day. We'd write about everything. Our days, our dreams, the lives we wished we were living. I looked up your old designs. You're brilliant, Melissa. You should be designing skyscrapers, not planning charity events. You read my work? No one's done that in years. Not even David. Of course I did. I wanted to see what you created. 2 months in, the emails got more intimate. I dream about that night by the lake, about sitting next to you. About how safe I felt. I dream about it too. About talking to you until sunrise. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we'd met differently? If I wasn't married to your VP? I knew where this was heading. Should have stopped it. Instead, I wrote back, I think about that all the time. 3 months after the retreat, she asked to meet. David's traveling this week, Chicago, then San Francisco. I'm teaching an architecture class Friday evening at a bookstore in Cambridge. Would you come? I'd like you to see me doing what I love. I went. Watching her teach was incredible. She was alive in a way I'd never seen. Confident, passionate, fully herself. When the class ended, we went to a coffee shop nearby. Thank you for coming, she said. It meant a lot to see you there. You were amazing. That's who you're supposed to be. She reached across the table, took my hand. You gave me the courage to start again. That night by the lake, you saw me when I'd given up on being seen. Melissa, I know this is complicated. I know I'm married. I know you work for David, but Ethan, I haven't felt like this in 20 years. Felt like what? Alive, seen, like I matter. She squeezed my hand. I have a room. At the Charles Hotel. Just for tonight. David's gone until Monday. I just ... I don't want to be alone anymore. I should have said no. Should have told her to work on her marriage or leave it. Should have walked away. Instead I said, okay. We went to her hotel room, and I crossed every line. That night, lying in bed with her, she cried. What's wrong? I asked. I just committed adultery. I'm a terrible person. You're not terrible. I'm married, Ethan. 20 years. And I just cheated on my husband with one of his employees. Does he even see you anymore? Really see you? That doesn't make this right. Then leave him. Be with me. She looked at me, eyes sad. I can't. We have a life. A house. Shared finances. His career supports everything. I'm just starting to teach again. I can't support myself yet. So, what are we doing? I don't know, she whispered. But I can't go back to being invisible. Even if this is wrong, I need to feel like I exist. The affair continued for 3 months. Whenever David traveled, which was 2 weeks out of every month, Melissa and I would meet. Sometimes at her hotel. Sometimes at my apartment. Once, dangerously, at their house when David was in London. We talked for hours. I'd read my writing to her. She'd show me her new architectural sketches. Then we'd end up in bed, tangled together, pretending this was sustainable. I fell in love with her. Completely. She was brilliant, passionate, everything I'd never known I wanted. And she said she loved me too. Said I'd saved her from disappearing entirely. But she wouldn't leave David, couldn't, she said. Not yet. After I build my architecture practice back up, after I can support myself, then I'll leave, I promise. I believed her. Wanted to believe her. At work, I'd see David in meetings. He'd nod at me, thank me for good reports. Had no idea I was sleeping with his wife. The guilt ate at me every single day. But I couldn't stop. Then, 4 months in, everything exploded. I'd sent Melissa an email from my work account. Stupid, reckless. But I was rushing between meetings and didn't think. Can't wait to see you Friday. David's flight lands Monday, right? We'll have the whole weekend. I hit send before realizing what I'd done. David had IT access to all company emails. Monday morning, I was called into HR. David was there, face stone cold. Sit down, Ethan. My blood turned to ice. I'm going to ask you this once, he said quietly. Are you having an affair with my wife? I couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. I found an email. Sent from your work account to Melissa's personal email. Can't wait to see you Friday. David's flight lands Monday, right? Want to explain that? David, I went through the rest. 63 emails over 3 months. Some about architecture. Most about how you make her feel alive, how she dreams about you, how she's never felt this way. His voice was deadly calm. You've been fucking my wife. It's not, don't tell me it's not what I think. I read the emails, Ethan, all of them. The ones where she told you she loved you. The ones where you planned your weekends together while I was traveling for work. David, I trusted you. I promoted you. I mentored you. And you repaid me by sleeping with my wife in the house I pay for. Your marriage was already broken. That's not for you to decide, he was shouting now. You don't get to sleep with someone's wife and claim you were saving her. HR stepped in. Mr. Cole, we're terminating your employment effective immediately. Your behavior violated multiple company policies. Fraternization, misuse of company resources, breach of professional ethics. Please, you're done, David said. Pack your desk. Security will escort you out. What about Melissa? What are you going to do to her? He looked at me with pure hatred. That's none of your business. Not anymore. I was escorted out that morning. 4 years of building my career gone. I texted Melissa from the parking lot. He knows. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? No response. I called. Went straight to voicemail. 3 days later, she finally replied. David wants a divorce. He's frozen all our accounts. I can't access anything. The house, the cars, everything's in his name. My architecture classes don't pay enough to survive on. I'm moving back in with my parents in Ohio. I'm 45 years old. Moving home because I had an affair with a 27-year-old. I'll help you. We can be together now. No, Ethan, I can't be with you. Every time I'd look at you, I'd remember what I destroyed. What we destroyed. My marriage, your career, everything. But you said you loved me. I do. That's why I have to let you go. Being with you would mean starting my life over at 45, broke. With a man 12 years younger who lost his job because of me. That's not love. That's desperation. Melissa, please. I'm sorry. For everything. You didn't deserve this. You were kind to me when I needed it, and I ruined your life. She blocked my number after that. I heard through the grapevine that their divorce was brutal. David made sure everyone knew why. The affair. The emails. My name was Mud in Boston Finance. Melissa moved to Ohio. Last I heard, she's working part-time at an architecture firm there. Living with her parents, trying to rebuild from nothing. David's still at the firm, thriving. Got engaged to someone new 6 months after the divorce. A woman his own age from his world. And me? I'm unemployed, living off savings. Every firm I interview with Googles my name and finds the story. Investment analyst fired for affair with VP's wife. I'm unhireable in Boston Finance now. I destroyed a 20-year marriage, lost my career. And the woman I thought I loved couldn't even look at me anymore. All because I found her crying by a lake and convinced myself I was saving her. I wasn't saving her. I was helping her cheat. Helping her avoid dealing with her marriage. and I destroyed 3 lives in the process. Being someone's escape doesn't justify adultery. And seeing someone doesn't give you the right to sleep with them when they remarried to your boss. I learned that the hard way. So what do you think? Was Ethan wrong for having an affair with his VP's wife? Or was Melissa's marriage so dead it doesn't count? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and tell me. Number 1, should Ethan have walked away after that first night by the lake? Number 2, was David at fault for being an absent husband? Number 3, does career ambition justify emotional neglect? And number 4, have you ever had an affair with a coworker's spouse? This is a safe space. Share your truth. If this story affected you, watch these next. I slept with my boss's wife and lost everything. Similar corporate affair. The company retreat that destroyed my career. Another work affair story. She said her marriage was dead. The lie that ruins lives. Check the description or click the videos now. If you made it to the end, you understand that workplace affairs are career suicide. That being someone's emotional support doesn't justify physical betrayal. That sleeping with your boss's wife destroys more than just a marriage. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We post 3 times a week with true confession stories about affairs and betrayal. And smash that like button if you want more honest stories about the mistakes we make when we confuse saving someone with sleeping with them. Thank you for watching this Ryan's Revelations exclusive. This was a true story about VP's wives who cry by lakes, employees who cross every professional line, and emails that destroy careers. Remember, being someone's escape doesn't make you their savior. And emotional affairs at corporate retreats always become something more, something destructive. Until next time, this is Ryan's Revelations, bringing you the truth about love, lies, and the affairs that cost you everything. Stay strong, stay professional, and never comfort your boss's wife at a company retreat.